So yeah, when it comes to Hang On, it opens up with
All I wanna do is just push the envelope, have the world be revealed, then I let the juices flow, and I am what I will to be.
it opens up with these lyrics. And with these lyrics, I'm basically just setting the foundation of off top that this is what I want to do, is just let my juices flow when it comes to me creating my music, or just creating period, being in a creative state. Had a world be revealed, then I let the juices flow. Like, I just want to push the envelope with everything that I'm doing. And it's kind of like a declarative thing on this type of track, because when it comes to this type of track, there's a lot of different things that we can break down with it. That might just go over the head first listen and just think it sounds like just another normal track, but at the end of the day, when you actually break everything down, it's actually not a normal track.
Man, I done seen it, niggas dying for a check, quick to switch sides, ain't down to ride for they rep.
Like with that one, that's really just, people would do a lot of things just for the money, just to do something for money, and not really stay true to their reputation, or as what we call it today, their brand. So it's like just throwing that out there, that people will do a lot of things just for money, and seeing that I'm doing something different with this, and I know it might go against the grain, it's like, okay, I understand that it might go against the grain, but I'm not aligning with these people who just do things just for money. So, and then also when you get to the point where I say,
Is there any thoroughbreds left?
are there any thoroughbreds left? And then right after that,
Take away the preakness, I can see that this a standing threat.
take away the preakness. That part right there, I'm actually talking about what's going on here in Baltimore, where for a couple of years now, but actually it seemed like this year they've been speaking 2018, this year, that this may be the last Preakness that they have, because they're going to shut it, well, the last Preakness at their location that they're at now. And they're going to shut that location down and then move it to another space. But they've been talking about it for so long, so it's just kind of like a nice little run through. Are there any thoroughbreds? Of course, we talk about that when it comes to in this game, but also that's a correlation with the horses. So then we move from there, sticking on that whole theme of the horses and Preakness and all that. That's when I say, you either
in the game or on the side, niggas placing bets, not everyone's a jockey, bless.
when you're in the game and you're doing that, not everyone can be a jockey. It takes certain qualities to be a jockey. It takes certain skills to be a jockey. But that right there, they're actually in the game. So you might be on the side looking at the game, looking at the race, and being like, oh, this horse is going to do that, that horse is going to do that. But the jockey is the actual one in the game that's actually pushing to make something happen. They're the ones that's in control in essence. They're the one in control of their own destiny at that point. And it's hard to be there when everyone's watching you and saying, is he going to win? Is he not going to win? But at the same time, when you go to the next lyrics, when I say
In action, that's a beautiful feeling.
that right there, it may be a lot of pressure when people are watching you and all that, but at the end of the day, it's such a beautiful feeling to be able to be in that game, because that's when the adrenaline is rushing, all eyes on you, and you like, it's either I'm going to put up or shut up. I'm going to show up today and I'm going to come out to win, or I'm just going to come out and then make excuses. So that's where the excitement comes in at when it comes to that.
Do it cause you love it, man, that act is so fulfilling. I can tell that that's a mark of living.
You do this because you love it. It's not because once again, take it back to the other lyrics that it's just for the money. Like, no, if it's just for the money, you're gonna hate it. You're gonna hate a lot of the process. But when you're doing it because you love it, that's when it's like, oh yeah. I mean, I might have good days and bad days, but I love this, so I'm gonna keep on doing it. I love this, so I'm gonna keep on coming with it. So that's one thing right there, where you're in action and you're doing, and no matter what the bets are that's in the stands, the bets don't mean nothing if the person who's supposed to win don't show up and come to win. If you're not showing up to come to play, what are you here for? We came to play.
I've been on the search for a new way to bring a verse. I've been on the search for a new way to make it hurt. My vanity's to make it first.
Those lyrics right there, that's basically tying right back to the whole theme of this song, as like I said, what I opened it as. I've been on the search for a new way to bring a verse, and I'll search for a new way to make it hurt. When it comes to this song, and you break down everything, if you really listen to the song, you may hear that it actually sounds kind of funny, like okay, you bouncing with it, and then all of a sudden you get this extra half a bar that pops in, that always pops in, that comes around and pops in. See, but the thing is, it's actually not an extra bar that's popping in. So what I did was, this is my second song where I made a hip hop track in 5/4, time signature of 5/4. For those who don't know what that is, it's cool. Quickly, easily think of any song that you love, that you bounce to, and you can bob your head to it, tap your foot, and you can be 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, just like that. But when it comes to this, I did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now that right there in itself is already awkward, okay? Because you have an extra beat that pops in. What I did when it came to this track, instead of having it just be so totally awkward, I said to myself, is there a way I can make this track in 5/4 but still make it sound so familiar that somebody can dance to it and not even recognize, if they wasn't even thinking of it like that, and not even recognize that this is in a totally different feel. This is a totally different, of course a lot of people wouldn't know, a totally different time signature. That's more for musicians to know and stuff like that. But a lot of people wouldn't think and hear it and be like, this is awkward, I can't dance to this, that extra beat is throwing me off. So what I did while I was creating the track, I found out, I'm like, okay, most of the time when it comes to us creating music, we put the snare on 2 and 4. That's the 1 clap, 3 clap, stuff like that. We put it on 2 and 4 for the most part. That's what we do. 2 and 4, 2 and 4. If we want to get real fancy with it and it's a little bit more up tempo, we put it on 3. 1, 2, clap, 4. That's what we do. But with this, I was like, if I just keep it on 3, it sounds weird. The last track that I did 5/4, I kept it on 4. I kept the snare on 4, the beat 4. But with this one, it actually pops around, and right now by saying it, it probably don't even sound like a mind-blown thing, like, but when I made it, that's when it clicked in my mind to be like, this is how you keep it to sound familiar. So what I did was, the first measure, it comes in 1, 2, 3. That 3 is that snare. The next measure, 1, 2, is the next snare. The next measure, 1 is the snare, and 5 is the snare. And then the measure after that, 1, 2, 3, 4 is the snare. So in total, in all, in a 4-bar loop, it's a different beat that the snare is hitting on. So in essence, it hits on all beats 1 through 5, as the song plays. So it sounds like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. When I did that, that was a new way for me to bring this beat and give you that familiar feeling when it came to Hang On. That's how I brought this beat. When it came to me to create the lyrics to this, then I was sitting back and was like, how can I bring the verse? I already have a familiar feel with that. I disguised it enough that it still give you a nice bounce to it, and you can actually dance to it without feeling awkward when the extra beat comes in. So how do I bring a verse differently? So I was going back to where I landed the snare, and I was in the car, and I'm just like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And as I was saying that, the cadence of what I was speaking, I was like, oh, there go the flow right there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that's how I come with that. I've been on a search for a new way to make it hurt. I've been on a search for a new way to bring it first. My vanity's to bring it first. So that's how I got that flow. And I said, oh, I'm gonna stick with this flow, because that's like a different flow, because it's like you have a normal flow that can go on top of a 4/4 track, but that extra beat that extra beat what can throw people off when they not knowing that it's a 5/4 track. So that's how the whole the track as a whole came together, where I just started boom, 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 and let everything fall into place after I figured the beat out and figured it out and how do I make this. Honestly, at the end of it all, I actually felt like a scientist in the lab who just been working at a formula for a while, and then all of a sudden they got the eureka moment and they say, wow, I got it, it works. That's how I felt though, like as a scientist, like, oh, I just found a new way to do this. Like, I don't know if it's been done. For me, I feel like that's one of my signatures that I'm gonna put out there, that I'm gonna keep on bringing 5/4 tracks and keep on experimenting with it and just bring a totally new sound. Even though the sound is already new, I'm gonna just keep on bringing a new sound because of what I'm doing and how good Hang On came out, you know. So that's that right there.
Knock, it shall be open. See me knocking, it won't open. Knock, knock, it will open. Most will try, then get ghosted. Test the faith and you can see I'm posted.
So those lyrics right there, anybody who reads scriptures would know that it says, you know, knock and it shall be open to you. Seek and you shall find. So I put that in there to reference that. Knock and it shall be open. But then you see me knock and it don't open. You read the scriptures and there are lessons in there that he tell us, and sticking with that, he say knock and it shall be open, and then when you go to knock and it don't open, most people just quit after that. Like, you told me it was gonna open and it didn't open, so you just quit. But the ones, the faithful, be like, okay, I knock and it didn't open, he said it will open, so I'm gonna keep on knocking. And that's why I ended off with knock, knock, it shall open. It's like, it's just to show more, drive home that persistence. Like, I'm gonna keep on knocking until this thing open. And then boom, it opens. And when you see the test of faith, you test the faith and you see me post it. That's like, look, it's not opening today, but it will open. And I'm gonna be posted right here because my faith is strong and it's going to come out. So break down the lines in these things, especially in the second verse. Second verse, it get real meaty. First verse, you know, I'm having more fun with just that flow, that different flow. And then the second verse, it gets real meaty, you know. So break down the lines with this stuff, and then you'll definitely see that this song has much more under the hood than was first expected to be. So hang on, I'm loving it. That's one of my faves. D Brown, Begotten Son, out.